Tonight's game. I'm Altruism. Joining me tonight is SabreFox91o, and we're ready to bring you this first division match between DDC, T1mE.SurgE, and iVe-Clockwork. SabreFox, say hello.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You already said that, so I don't know why I repeated that. But anyway, hi guys. How are everybody doing? Especially, how are you doing, Autism? It's quite an exciting day to be back here, finding a game in our off days, or most people's off days, where we have iVe-Clockwork and DDC T1mE.SurgE. So, both these teams are in first division. Most of these players actually come from Battlefield. I actually see a few Battlefield names here and there. So yes, I'm quite excited about this game. Hopefully it'll be a very I'm hoping it's going to be a very tight game. Like the last game we actually streamed was insanely tight. We're going into the third map. It was Lepro versus Pew Pew Gaming, and that was one hell of a match to cast.
Man, I must admit, we took a little bit of a break now. Everyone just seems to play on Sunday, so it's always nice to find a game like this on a Wednesday where the guys... then we can get more Overwatch for you guys in during the week. And like you say, that last game, what a way to end a week on last week with that nail-biting finish. If you guys haven't seen the VOD for that, go check out the channel that you should be on now, is Altruism. The link should be in the description below. You've got to check that game out. I won't give it away as to who won that, but tonight is just as an important game. Both of these teams looking to get to the top of the table. I mean, this is an incredibly close league at this stage. I think both of these teams are very close to the top. iVe, I don't think, has lost a match at this stage, and DDC has got a 4 out of 5 victory streak at this stage. So both of these guys, both of these games, these teams really want to make this win tonight count.
Definitely. It's with iVe, on that win streak at the moment. I think they have a little bit of a ego boost going in there. But let's not take anything away just yet. They might have the confidence that can get them this win for this game. Even though it did seem like DDC is, like you said, have 3 win and 1 lose. That is nothing. One thing I've noticed, you learn more when you actually lose, because when you lose, it means you made a few, extra more mistakes when you actually win. So that just gives you so much more room to improve on yourself. And then, the more you can improve on yourself, it's better, because at the end, you just get more better and you can take out any team. And I don't know, I just get a nice feeling when I can improve myself, like a nice reassuring pat on the back, if I can put it like that.
Certainly, no, that's exactly right. I mean, you learn the most from defeats. It's easy if you just keep going. You can get into bad habits, but these guys have both gotten really good habits, and like you say, these guys have a long history. Maybe not in Overwatch, but the clans have both been around for a long time. DDC is one of the top 3 teams, I think, in South Africa, their sister team. So you got to imagine that skill gets passed down, and they train each other and they scrim against each other. And iVe is a long-standing team together. And these players individually, besides the clans, these players, like you say, come from the Battlefield days. You've known these guys for a while because of your Battlefield history. Any big names that we want to try and keep an eye out on tonight?
Well, what I can see from the T1mE.SurgE, the names that I recognize from DDC T1mE.SurgE is Red Queen, Mace Windu, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Dutch Courage also comes from Battlefield. And then from iVe-Clockwork, the only person I think is Dot Ninja. He's the only person I think, if I'm not mistaken, who comes from Battlefield. So yeah, there's basically your 3 names that I can think of at the moment. Now, if I do miss anybody, I do apologize. The Battlefield community is pretty huge, so I can't really always get all the names.
Please, not even the community, just the maps were always too big for me. Man, I could never get into Battlefield because it took me 3 hours to run to the other side. Then I got shot in the head and had to run back all the way. So, just the community is huge, and these guys will have had a lot of experience. So you can imagine these guys will probably, those names that you're talking about, will have their ideas of positioning down. They'll have their aim really good, because the amount of pinpoint accuracy you need in Battlefield is huge. So these guys have a lot of experience behind them, and that's why they're here in this DGL First Division. These guys are looking to make a name for themselves, and at this stage, with that sort of streak, they're looking to really prove themselves. Unfortunately, in the First Division, there were 2 teams that have been disqualified, HG Valhalla and Gur Bystanders. So probably you find those two games have been attributed to these teams, but it still means iVe-Clockwork is 2 for 2 and DDC T1mE.SurgE is 1 game out of 2. So both these teams have shown that they belong here in First Division, if not higher.
You said the two teams in First Division got disqualified. Do you might know the reason behind that? Because I only see they are retired.
Yeah, probably. I don't. Sorry, that disqualified is probably a little bit harsh to use there. I just saw the skulls and I got the words disqualified. They are retired, guaranteed. I don't think they got disqualified. I think they just found that, especially now in this time of the year when we've got all these exams and everything coming up, it does take a lot of practice. At this sort of level, you've got to keep practicing so much to stay on the top of your game. So they probably just found that there was no time for them to really get stuck in and give the dedication that they needed. So I think they've just retired. I don't see them having been disqualified.
Okay, well then, let's hope it didn't come anything to that. But like you said, it is kind of hard, and sometimes you have to put in the extra time. And like you said, with these times, it is kind of hard. But it's always sad to see teams fall out of this, these kind of leagues and everything, because the more teams we have in this, the better. So guys, if you're out there and you do not have a team, it's always nice to go on the Facebook group. I say I would love to join a team. I'm pretty sure there are teams out there that are looking for players like you, to improve and to join and just be a whole unit together, help grow the community, help grow the leagues and the teams. That is the whole reason why we are definitely seen as a community. We are here to help each other out, and at the end, help the league and also the title grow.
So guys, while we're here, you might be wondering what we're doing. We're just busy doing the final little parts of the draft at this stage. Some notable maps that have been banned out have been Route 66, Watchpoint Gibraltar we've seen a couple of times. We've seen Lijiang Tower and Kings Row every single cast, if I'm not mistaken, at this stage, and I see neither of those two has been banned out. Are we going to see the old favorites here tonight? And from these guys' experience, does that mean, are we going to see anything new? There haven't really been any massive patches in the last couple of weeks that have changed anything at this stage. We've seen a lot of changes on the PTR that are going to come in, but nothing as of yet on the actual live game, if I'm not mistaken. So do you see we're going to see, what sort of strategies do you think we're going to see out of these two teams?
Well, so far, if I'm looking when it comes to the eliminations of this map, it seems we are going to go into the favorites. But wait, no, it is League 4. That means it's a whole new set of maps. I actually forgot to go look at that. That is a rookie mistake from a caster on my side. I do apologize for that. But yeah, I see we actually do have a different list of names here of teams. So we actually might not even see Kings Row, because if I'm not mistaken, Kings Row shouldn't even be on that list. Or no, wait, Leg 4 means all the maps are added. Last I checked, so this is going to be a very long elimination map at the moment. So we're going to have to wait and see what these people are. See, already there, Legion Tower has just got eliminated now. Mbani also, Oasis, Gibraltar. So I think we're still gonna come down to Route 66, a Kings Row, because that is the community favorite overall. It's the most easiest to strat out plan and then just move forward and improve yourself. If I've from what I've noticed so far from all these top teams playing. But only time can tell at this moment what we can see from the teams. But yeah, here we go. It's been Kings Row has been decided to be played.
I noticed something before we get to these last two maps, and it looks like all of the control point maps have been eliminated. All the King of the Hill maps. Lijiang, Ilios, Oasis, and Nepal are all out. So we're going to be playing Kings Row first. Second, we're going to be playing Hollywood. And then if it goes to it, then we're going to be playing Dorado. So 3 payload maps. We're going to see a lot of pushing, and it's going to set the stage, I think, for some very, very close games, because these sort of games can literally be inches between the winning side and the losing side. So Kings Row, the old favorite. Let both teams just get into the hang of this, get onto a familiar point, and just warm up and really feel each other out before going on to some new maps. So, great maps, I think, and I'm very excited to see how both these teams do, especially in quite open maps that these can be, very three-dimensional maps on all the stages. So, I'm very excited to see if these guys can get through onto the first point of both Kings Row and Hollywood. This could be a very short stream where there's complete shutouts on both match, but with the skill of these guys and the team unity, I think that could be a really good competition that we're setting ourselves up for.
We can only hope for that. And just a little add-on, this is going to be the first time that we're going to be casting on Hollywood, so that is another plus for us. I'm excited about casting new maps. Except I'm pretty much over Kings Row, but there's nothing we can do. It is the community's and the team's choice. But it seems like both teams are ready, and we're going to be heading into the game now. As soon as they decide to click that start button.
Makes me think that with such weird maps coming out, I mean, they're not weird in that they're completely random and out of nowhere. They are very familiar payload maps and stuff. But the fact that neither team wanted a control point map makes me think that these guys have practiced these sort of payload maps and they have their own little strategies coming in. We might see a bit of Farah that doesn't always see as much play at this sort of level, but we've seen a lot of this dominated by the dive comp. That Genji Tracer Winston combo that so many teams have run to such great effect, and those sort of teams are very weak on the control point maps if not executed correctly. They can be incredibly strong to take the point, but holding the point becomes a much more difficult game. So do you think from the choice of the three payload maps that we're going to see that sort of orientation towards the dive comps?
Yes, I'm pretty sure we are going to see maybe not even from the start, we might not see the dive comp, but I think we're gonna see what both teams what if both teams are gonna do, like what kind of compositions they have, and if they can see like, okay, we can maybe put out a dive comp here to counter their team, but I think they will definitely go for that. Otherwise, yes, I think the dive comp is obviously from the start, while everybody is still, not really warmed up, and this kind of league situation, I would say the dive comp is actually a very good way to catch the team off guard, in a sense, I would say. But it seems like we have DDC on the defending side. DDC is blue, and
we seem to have lost SabreFox at this stage. He has dropped out. I can't hear him. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear him. Not sure what's going on right now. Is it my internet that's dropped? I see SabreFox has just left the game at this stage. Players are kind of moving around, so I'm guessing I'm still in this.
Your channel timed out.
There it goes, SabreFox. So guys, you're going to be stuck with me just for a little bit at this stage. We have DDC on defense. They pulling out the Reinhardt, the standard. Very interesting to see an Orisa coming out, Mace Windu coming out on that lovely Mercy. Got to be my favorite character with the backup second support of Dutch Courage on the Zenyatta. Gives them that extra little bit of damage. Your offensive attacking duo is going to be Cassidy on the Soldier 76 and Farah, played by Red Queen. We see a Farah from the defense, from the attacking side, that pharmacy combo coming out from Steel Cashew. Steel Cashew takes a little bit of early damage, and now we see a lot of that double barrier work coming out. I see we have a Sombra pick, which is very interesting. Ice 180, just trying to get around the back there and get maybe a little bit of control over the health packs on the side, but with this healing duo from the side of Dutch Courage and Mace Windu, we shouldn't see too much problems coming out for health and reliance on those packs. Not a very dive strong competition here. So it's at this stage no picks really coming out. Fizz going into a very dangerous scenario there, dropping very low, and neither team has really been able to push forward. Now we see Voxtron pushing forward on the Reinhardt, trying to get through, but that double barrier is just making sure they can win that barrier war so much. And now we see Bacinity able to drop his barrier, throw out a couple of shots, but he does go down on the point, and so they still do have their but then we have him picked back up. No, it wasn't him. I lied. My apologies. It was Mutant Gun. And there's a lovely tempo res coming out from Mace Windu, just keeping safe, getting a lot of healing out from these teams in this little poke battle at the beginning here. And he's already got his on fire part. Is this SabreFox coming back on?
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry about this. I honestly have no idea what just happened there. My line completely chopped. I've been having some problems lately, but yeah.
Don't worry about that. We've just seen DDC manage a fantastic defense there, thanks to a great res by Mace Windu. And iVe is pushing forward again. They're coming in and they've got the Reinhardt Earth Shatter, but they're against the Orisa and Reinhardt combo, meaning to try and land a good Earth Shatter. There we see the amazing synergy between the Sombra and the Reinhardt. Sombra just gets in there, shuts down all the shields. Apology for ducking into the corner there so that no one could see. But this D.Va is getting into everyone's face, pushing them back, and that should be the first point for the side of iVe. Really nice combo coming out from ice180 on the Sombra pick. Something that you just don't see a lot of, but when used correctly, such a powerful tool to use to just shut down that double barrier technique. Really nice bit of play by them. Sabre, are you back in our game?
It doesn't seem like I can rejoin unless somebody gives me an invite. There's no option for me to rejoin this stream. Oh my gosh, this game.
So, we will have to rejoin you into this game in the second half. At this stage, I'm just trying to cast at this on my own. Now we see again this double barrier working hard, but the iVe side is still making a really nice bit of push here on this payload. They've now hit the corner, and there's an Earth Shatter coming out. Only catches the 2 tanks though, so to get any kills out of the back of this is going to be very difficult. And in fact, they've got 3 men down from the side of DDC, and their Mace Windu picks him up again, gives him another fighting chance, but it is 4 on 6 at this stage, as Mace Windu's done well there. We see the Transcendence just trying to buy some time as Mutant Guns in the front there. Ninja brings out the Transcendence on the other side, and there we see Pharah raining justice from above. Really nice bit of play, and Ninja now sitting on top of the payload, just gets a couple more hits into this side, and a really nice push coming out from the side of iVe at this stage.
Also, if you do get the opportunity, see if you can ask them to send me an invite. Maybe I can join during the game.
I have invited you to the group. I don't know, does that invite you to the game?
Yes.
Fantastic! We've got a SabreFox back. So, you haven't missed too much information at this stage. Here we see a D.Va bomb coming out into a great position. And there goes the Sombra hack again, just shutting down all those sort of defenses. And what an amazing synergy this Sombra is having in this team. You can see this iVe side has practiced this a good couple of times, just knows when to put it with another ultimate. An ultimate that's normally easy to shut down just with the barrier or something in the right place, but that Sombra EMP is coming out and doing amazing amounts of work. iVe really hasn't stopped the payload. Hasn't stopped moving on that payload right from the back. They've only got 1 ultimate at this stage, and it is the res. From the side of DDC though, we do have that Red Queen ultimate on the Pharah, so he's going to be looking for this. I wonder if we're going to actually see him. He's hiding up at the top there, just waiting for them to all push in, and I'm actually going to just focus on him, because you've got to keep an eye on a Pharah when she's got that ultimate, especially when she's got a Mercy pocketing her. Gets a really nice play onto the other Pharah at this stage. Fizz going down, and now there's a lot of damage going into this iVe barrier at this stage, and we just wait. There goes the hammer dunk. Actually catches Red Queen, and Red Queen goes down. Mace Windu does have a res, so just keep an eye on that. We do see Dutch Courage coming out with the Transcendence at this stage, keeping everyone up, and there goes the D.Va bomb does nothing.
That's pretty amazing there. It seems like the iVe team is very coordinated at the moment. You see, like, if they do lose something, they actually pull back there, and it seems like Sombra ultimate going off there again. SurgE taking Sombra Ice down. Steri, which is D.Va on the Ice, Rocket Barrage from Fizz, almost getting a double kill there, but Casido is on fire with that SurgE, making sure they do not get any damage. It seems like we have the Orisa of our ultimate providing us much extra damage, but it seems like Steri, which is a D.Va out of her mech, was able to destroy that, making sure they do not get that extra damage. It seems like DDC is having an amazing defense at the moment, and iVe is just trying to regroup here, and we see Sombra making a nice little flank here. Ice, what are you planning, mister?
Ice has been on point at this game, just getting those ultimates very, very quickly. They aren't really challenging her at this stage, and it was interesting to see the swap off the Reinhardt. I guess they just thought that they had enough, but here comes an explosion into the middle, wipes out Mace Windu. He was the key target because he had the res, and so the rest of the team just has to try and stall at this stage. Red Queen finally letting go of that ult, and we see the Diva ult coming out from Racinity as well. Now we see the pin coming down from the side of DDC, getting that nice Earth Shadow down, and Racinity is now out of her mech, so we see a lot of tempo reses coming out, and at this stage it looks like DDC might just be holding this point.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are like intertwined with each other, but nobody is getting the picks except for Dutch Courage here, are getting a double there on the Mercy and also the Diva bot. It seems like the DDC defense is working quite well, and Dot Ninja committed suicide, could not handle the pressure there, being Zenyatta in the middle of all that trouble there. It seems like iVe is going to work. I'm trying to work something out here. They're going to have to regroup and just get those viable picks. Starting with that Red Queen there at the top, because she is a nuisance for them at the moment.
They've got a lot of time on the clock. Oh no, they don't. They've only got 30 seconds, so there's not even time to sit back, try build up some ultimates. This is pretty much it. Whoever comes out on this, they do have no ultimates though. They've just used that Transcendence, not able to get anything out of it at this stage. Now we see the Mace Windu trying to hold at the back, knowing that she's got res, and just is able to scoot away from that Pharah. But now we see the Rocket Barrage coming out from Fizz, just shutting down a lot. Not killing everyone, but doing enough work. They get the Mercy down, and they cleaning up at this stage. They just need to make sure they get enough people off this, and we see the other ultimate coming down. Red Queen now doing a great job, but not good enough as the payload squeaks onto the final point.
That was an amazing push there by iVe. Something I noticed is they actually were able to push Mace Windu, yeah, it was the Widowmaker, Widowmaker, the Mercy. They pushed her off, and she was just trying to hover there at the background, or at the bottom of the map, trying to find someone to, fly up against. But sadly got taken down at the end there. But an insanely well push there by iVe, taking down the DDC defense. But it's not over yet. Now it's time for iVe to show us what defensive mechanism they can pull off, and what offensive skills, offensive, same word. But anyway, what offensive capabilities the DDC team can come up with. I'm quite interested to see. What do you think from what I've missed in the start? What do you think DDC might do differently?
DDC did really, really well, that they were able to get the double barrier up and just shut down all the pushes from iVe. iVe just has that incredible synergy between the Sombra on attack and there it was actually their Reinhardt. Reinhardt was sitting with that Earth Shadow for a while, didn't waste it though, knew that there were two barriers there to block it, and they did really, really well. And DDC is going to have to show a good amount of just coordination. They've got the Winston, but they don't have the typical dive comp that we normally see. They don't have the Tracer and Genji to follow up, so it's going to be up to Dutch Courage to get that speed boost and get them into the team and just follow up on Mutant Gun jumping in on anyone. So I think if Fizz can stay out of range, if Steri can just shut down all the other damage coming in and they can focus on Mutant Gun, they're going to have a really good chance of defending here. But if you get some good coordination from the side of DDC, I think iVe that DDC could have a good shot at least getting onto this point very quickly.
Some fine analytics right there. But it seems like we are off, and Red Queen are ready on that Pharah. And it seems like we have Ice on the Soldier trying to stop it, but it gets taken down or gets pushed back. It seems like Fizz at the top ground. Mutant Gun is jumping in or straight there. It seems like we have a dive comp here from DDC. Sorry, iVe. Yeah, sorry, DDC. My mistake. It seems like we have both Pharahs in the air, taking some punch shots at each other. It seems like Voxtron or the Rhino there is just trying to keep that shit up, but sadly he loses his shields with the amount of damage coming from the DDC side.
Really nice push at this stage. Neither team having lost anyone. Fizz is on incredibly low life though, so he's pretty much out of the fight. Now he goes down, and now we're starting to see the snowball effect. It's just that constant initiation and then retreat by Mutant Gun has done really, really well. Manages to take out both of the supports there, and now it's just a cleanup crew. We're going to have to see how long Sterry can try and keep this going, and we actually have a Mercy with the res, but they're not close enough to pick anyone up. And that is a first push success, taking of the point on this. I see we still have Fizz trying to contest this point. Just gives his life away though, and they may have to concede defeat on this first point.
Yeah, in my opinion, that last push there by Fizz was kind of unnecessary. It was not needed. He should have, you know, either made the call or, you know, or heard the call from the team saying, okay, that point has lost. There's nothing you can do back, fall back, because now they're ready. You have to wait for him to come back for the 6-man squad. And that's a very far walk of shame at the back there. But it seems like iVe is already heading on, even without the help of Fizz. They seem to be going straight on into this. Seeing what they can do at this moment, but nobody is stopping Red Queen at the moment. Ice is not prioritizing his targets he should be focusing on, because Red Queen has so much space to move with. He is just being a havoc. Earthshatter going down by Voxtron. Sadly missed this charge because he got booped off there by Lucian. Nice one, but that's such just stop the strike going down and getting a double there. Nice one there by Sterry. And here comes Mace Windu with the revive.
Mace Windu's done really well so far at getting those tempo reses out, and now we see the Graviton. Voxtron actually goes past it, manages to get through, survives for a little bit, gets that shield up, and no one else caught in that Graviton, but it seems to have done enough work. Now they've got Sterry out of her mech, and when you're in the face of a big mutant gun like that, you have no chance of surviving. So DDE doing very, very well to just keep their players alive at this stage, it seems, as they're not giving away silly deaths. Mutant Gun is going in, creating a little bit of space, and there's such instant follow-up from the side. Dutch Courage is doing a great job to get his team into position and follow up, and with that Zarya bubble, Mutant Gun is able to stay alive, knows when to retreat, and just let his team finish off. So really nice, but now we do see the sights coming out, but it's not taking anyone down. iVe has got 4 ultimates. They've just used one, and they've only just picked up the 1 kill now on Cassidy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Ice actually prematurely used his ultimate there. He could have held it with it and, you know, focused on a Red Queen. Fizz is not doing anything with that ultimate or with Farah, but it seems like we have Voxtron here getting a nice little Ana boost there, getting a triple kill there with a nice support from his teammate. And gets taken down at the end by Castillo. Nice work there by the soldiers. The amount of damage I get there. But it seems like DDC is falling back, seeing if they can regroup at the moment. But yet again, I'm still seeing Fizz has the last one there with his ultimate. So I know it seems like Steel Cash there, and also Sterry still has the ultimates open aside from iVe.
With 4 minutes. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. So you say so?
With 4 minutes left on the clock, though, it's certainly a lot of work to do. They've got these 3 ultimates, and they're going to have to get really good use out of them, but also really good economy out of them. If they waste all 3 ultimates in a single fight, it opens up DDC. DDC now has 3 of their ultimates, and now we see that beautiful. What a Diva Bomb to come out, wipes out the backside of the team, and with this tempo res now, you've got to say this one's on the side of iVe. Still knocking 3 out, and Mutant Gun is there, trying his hardest, and Cassidy is also now surrounded, and that's a really nice bit of play from DDC, just managing to stagger those deaths. They got 3 very quickly in the beginning of the fight, managed to take them out with that incredible Diva Bomb. I would not be surprised if that was in fact player of the game. But a really nice bit of play from them, and they've still got 2 ultimates from the side of iVe. They've got that Fizz ultimate, and combine that with the Voxtron Earthshatter could do a huge amount of damage and secure them at least another minute on this payload.
Yeah, but it seems like they did not use the compensation. It seems like Vix, it's badly just, you know, got a bit too cocky there and just used the ultimate in the middle of everything. It got taken down by Red Queen at the end there. But it seems like we have the iVe side is trying so hard to defend that, but Mutant Gun is just being very aggressive, pushing on Graviton Surge going off there. Oh, Rocket Barrage from Red Queen taking down 2 players there. Nicely done there. And it seems like Sterry, I think at my point, Sterry at the moment is the player of this game. Trying so hard to stay alive there and push that payload. Or sorry, stop that payload from being pushed. But it seems like Vix finally switched out his player into a Reaper, and that's something you want to see. Finally, they're changing out to something different, you know, try a new composition there. But it seems like Stereo and all of the rest of the team of iVe is back of that payload, stopping him. Dutch Courage is trying so hard to, I see he's waiting for the little gap to boot him off that payload into the little corner there, into the abyss. But nothing seems to be confident as yet.
Seeing a lot of good work coming out from Stereo at this stage, just holding that position and not letting them go. We now do see that Reaper Nano going off and hasn't managed to pick up too many kills at this stage, only managing to pick out Cassidy at this stage. We see the Graviton coming out, and that does take out the Ana, and the Mercy falls as well. Racinity getting a triple kill on the Zarya. Really nice bit of play there, but they do still have two huge targets that they need to take out. That Reaper can always stay on the payload for a long time. Does manage to stay alive for a while, but now we see the Lucio comes out, and Steel Cashew is all that separates this payload from going over and manages to stay on. They're just keeping all of these supports, and there's the Diva Bomb in the middle. Actually goes off in the Winston bubble. Really nice placement there from Mutant Gun. Gives up his own life for it, but does certainly save the rest of his team at this stage. And DDC manages to stay alive, although here comes the Earth Shadow coming down. And what a nice combo there. We saw the Earth Shadow go down, and then we saw Fizz with that Death Blossom into the center of it. Shuts them down, and DDC mere millimeters, literally millimeters away from taking this point, have to come back, and they've only got a minute left on the clock now.
Yeah, something I noticed here, Dutch Courage, when Fizz actually deployed that ultimate, he actually booped him into his team, so he kind of helped Fizz destroy the rest of his team. And that's actually very sad moments, something like that happens. But like you said, Mountain Gun using that shield to defend his team was insanely well done, but it seems like the teams are intertwined yet again. iVe is sticking so hard on that. Rocket Rush by Red Queen there, not getting any kills. It seems like we have a nice hit by Steel Cash, they're getting up to Lucio for a nice little boops up in there. Red Queen is so hard there, trying to get as much kills as you can from above. But it seems like everybody's just straggling left and right, jumping all around, going crazy. It seems like they start seeing the kills coming in from the DDC side. iVe is struggling at the moment. They are losing people one by one. Ground SurgE going down. Voxtron is the last one, gets taken out to end. It seems like only Stereo was lost alive. Ice is the last only there. But sadly, no, I've spoken too soon. Here comes the supports.
But keep an eye on Mace Windu there. She has got the res at this stage, so DDC has a really good chance. Mace Windu just needs to stay very nice and safe in the corner. They've got the Fizz out on the Tracer, trying to hunt down that backline. We see another Diva Bomb. This time only gets Racinity, and here comes Mace Windu coming with that second one. But no one's dying from the side of iVe. Now they get a couple of kills, but is it fast enough? And Red Queen's got another ultimate at this stage. Really nice bit of play there. Just shuts them down, and that's what you need to push the final point on one of these payload maps. You need a couple of really quick kills, get together, and you got to shut down that trickle from the side. So with that payload sitting on the edge there for ages, they finally do get through, and that means that both teams went into overtime to get that, so they both only have a minute to try get this first point.
So far, it looks like both these teams are neck on neck at the moment. But it seems like both of them managed to, get the payload on there with both running in overtime. So that leaves both teams with 1 minute to push as far as possible. So now it's going to come to those situations where you are the most insane defense. So I would say if you want to defend this point, a Torbjorn would be the best pick from the from DDC side, because that Torbjorn will cause so much damage if you can plant it in a top window there in the side. And then from the side of iVe, I would definitely want to see a little dive comp. I would say Ice will have to trade out that Sombra, getting up maybe a soldier even. This is maybe on point with that Tracer. Stereo is just amazing with his Diva. I'm pretty sure every self-destruct at least got 1 or more than 2 kills, what I've noticed so far from Stereo. So he, in my opinion, is the man of the match so far. But yes, it seems like we have a very aggressive push here from iVe. Let's see what they can do with it.
Aston played incredibly well. I know it was before when you had disconnected, but Aston the Sombra was getting into the backline, got up ultimates incredibly quickly. So if he can do that again, I think they've got a very, very good chance on this dive comp. And they do have quite a dive comp going with Stereo as their tank, getting into the front lines. And now we see this DDC side not going for their original defense of the Reinhardt, and instead going for Dutch Courage on that Winston, and Winston's dropping to about half health. gets picked back up by the Mercy. Mace Windu has done a fantastic job just on keeping that positioning, keeping that, keeping safe. And now we actually see Voxtron on that Zarya a little bit far forward. No team to back him up, but manages to get out. Fizz is our first casualty in this, and the whole of DDC is staying really nice and healthy at this stage. Cassidy did go down a little bit. Steri looking for the hunting to get behind him, and actually pays with the mech. And in fact, they're live with only 7 seconds left. This is a lot of casualties from the side of iVe. There comes Mace Windu with an amazing tempo res to get this back up, and it seems like DDC is managing to hold this first point.
Yeah, it's an amazing defense from DDC. You see, like, all the players from iVe are taking the fastest plays they can get. Steri just missing that point, which means now iVe is gonna have to put an amazing defense here. They're gonna have to make sure they don't even get close to that, because they got 0 capture percentage. So if I'm not mistaken, if DDC is managed to capture at least 1%, that gives them the win.
It's been changed as far as I know. I don't know if that's in the PTR, but I think it's in the live stream at this stage, where you have to capture the third percentage. Yes, it is.
Oh, right,
look,
it's a quarter of it.
It's yeah, you have to get that first third now. So if iVe manages to keep someone on this entrance here, on the block, on the objective at any stage, and they just manage to shut down this DDC side, then I think it could be very, very close. We should not have a stalemate at this stage, I don't think, but it could be very, very close. Both teams, we see a little bit of waltzing coming out from Voxtron there, just showing off his new dance emote. That's awesome. But what do you think the DDC did so well to manage to do a 4-hold there?
Well, they actually, what I've noticed, they were actually, communicating so well and focused on targets. The iVe side were basically just running in. They weren't really, they were just scattered way too much. So they all basically went for their own target, where DDC basically just stuck to one target and finished them off and then moved to the next one. And that's something I see iVe is struggling to do at this moment.
So now we see the teams coming out at this stage, just trying to push, getting a bit of a dive comp there. Interesting that Vicinity is leading the charge there on the Zarya. Just knows that he can take a brunt of the attacks, shrug them off with that shield quite nicely, and then Mutant Gun can come through and no one can shut him down at this stage. And now we see a lot of damage coming in. No one's dealing with the Pharah in the air here. Red Queen's just doing a fantastic job in the air, and now we see already Mutant Gun has his ultimate up, going mad, going monkey, and Mace Windu just manages to stay alive, and they are on the point. This is it. They're halfway to that final percentage, and all they need to do is clock it over, and they manage to take the first match.
Amazing work there from DDC, showing that they are definitely the team to be reckoned on this map. But it's not over yet. We are going to move on to the next map, and that is something I want to see. Something I did notice, something Fizz did there. Fizz was focusing so hard there on the enemy team's underground, he completely forgot and ignored Red Queen, which kind of caused his own death. But here you see him, watch this ultimate, you can see him gonna get booped there from the Lucius side. You see that? The boop comes in, and he basically gets that double kill and gets a third at the end there. That is very unlucky. That's not really something you want to see for what you're, caused by your teammate, because that kind of brings sadness to your eyes.
Such a risky play there from Fizz to try and teleport into the middle of a skirmish. Just manages to get away with that. I have no idea how. Nearly got the boop off the side there. So good play by him, risky play, but that's sometimes what you need. Sometimes, especially on that last point, guys are so distracted that they're not focusing on what's happening around them, and something like that can really, a cheeky play can come out. So that is, first game goes to the side of DDC? iVe, I think. I forgot who won that.
It went to DDC.
That's it. They've now swapped sides, if I'm not mistaken. So iVe is now on blue. I do this every time, guys. I get the names wrong, so I just need to make sure that I have these two teams on the right side. So, first map, King's Row. One of our old favorites. Both these teams feeling each other out, and both of them doing exceptionally well. Both managing to clear out the point, and then just the difference between a first hold and a 1 little percent point going on to the side of DDC. So really nice play, and we are now going on to Hollywood for the first time in our casting career.
Yep, Hollywood. A very famous and also very fun map, I might say to myself. This is also a very nice map for two main players, a Bastion and also a Torbjorn. Yes, I know I am a Bastion main. Well, not really a Bastion main, but I do admire him pretty well. But the amounts of strange spots you can find with a Torbjorn turret, you can hide him behind the bushes and on the flipping left there. There are so many possibilities for a Bastion turret. For the Torbjorn turret. You know, a Torbjorn turret adds a 7-player to the game. The very nice trick when it comes to a Torbjorn turret is you deploy the turret, you put him up, you do not stay by him, you do not be his constant repair. You put him down and you go do your own thing. You go back to you. You do you basically at the end of the game. If the turret goes down, just deploy another one. You have an unlimited supply of him. It's not like you have to constantly keep it up. So when you put him down and you go do your thing, it's basically a 7-player on the area because you have one constantly defending and then you're running around with that shotgun, and a shotgun to the face always hurts. And what do we have? It's ice on the Torbjorn.
You called it.
What is he planning with this?
It's fantastic. I've noticed there's two main players. This one that he's doing right now is actually such a nice one. You just put a sneaky little turret out on the side, and then you run back, and it's a disposable turret, and it just means as they push it, and they have to go deal with that, and while they're dealing with it, you buy yourself 10 seconds, and more importantly, you get yourself a bit of free ult charge while it's busy taking a couple of pot shots on them, and it just lets them get up that play very, very quickly. And it's such a nice team. It's such a nice tool, like you say, on a very unified team, because you place it in a nice point and then you fight around that, and between the Voxtron and the Steri barriers, it means you can just stay for such a long time doing that. And now we see the turret going down, but Ice has already got himself 16% ultimate charge. Now he's looking to put that turret there on the side there, just out of place of all the flankers, and just suck them in with those two barriers and make them commit to that Torbjorn turret. But we do actually see them jumping onto the field, and no one's dealing with the turret. You cannot run a Winston and ignore the turret.
No, definitely is like I call it. See, Red Queen is really taking so much damage. My opinion, the turret is not placed in a very nice position because he is very limited to only one side. But it's still very nice because Mace Windu is getting so much damage, gets taken down by the turrets. See, this is the things you want to happen. Sadly, they did lose the point there at the moment. Well, they are going to lose the point. It seems like they've already given up on that. And still, Cash kind of went AWOL there. Kind of decided to go run in there on her own with a Mercy. That was not a very good call from her side. My previous should have stayed back, but you know, you always have those optimistic people on a team, which is good. I'm not gonna lie on that. But yes, we have a nice little. Yeah, it seems like Ice is still staring in a Torbjorn turret, placing it on the left side there, and that escort is moving at full speed at the moment. Red Queen is on fire at the moment. No one is stopping her. She knows where that turret is, and she's gonna take it out now.
Really nice bit of play. Interesting that Ice is stuck on that Torbjorn turret. You often see teams just run it on that first point, try and get it set up, and the team has now dropped back, and they are trying to set up around this turret. I'm not actually sure where the turret is at this stage. I've lost it at this stage.
It's in the saloon.
It's in the saloon, pumping out damage, and Ice has just used his ultimate, but now the turret's not doing anything. It can't lock onto anyone.
It's in the building where it cannot do anything at all. Where people are just walking past. It's a complete waste there.
It was an interesting idea, didn't pay off, and especially considering he popped his ultimate, and that's such a good ultimate. It normally just dissuades complete teams from doing anything, and instead they just all ran to the side and they fought out of range of the turret. And Ice Ninja played so well in the Sombra in the beginning, and now it just seems like DDC, 4 players on fire at this stage, and just rolling over this IVE side on this map.
You see how the IVE team is trying to, you know, regroup here, but DDC is not letting up. They're just constantly in offense here. It seems like Red Queen is constantly, you know, just chasing Ice and making sure he doesn't get a turn up and he gets taken down at the end himself. It seems iVe is pushed to the last checkpoint at the moment, and DDC is just making some pot shots, making sure they're not getting close to it. Sterry seems to switch back to his Diva, which is a very good pick. Red Queen is flanking. Nobody is seeing that. He is just in the top there making shots. Ice eventually changed back to the Soldier. That's a very good change there. You see it didn't work and then he changed. That's the kind of thing you want to see from these teams. 5 going after the Mace Windu, and there comes the secondary revive.
Those 2 reses are great, but we do see the sights coming out, and now we see the Graviton. Wow, what a combo coming out there. The Graviton into Red Queen's ultimate there, and it just seems now Sterry can do well in her mech, but with 4 players pushing this, we see the Moto Zenyatta coming out, just trying to hold on. .Ninja's trying to hold this payload, has managed to stay on for a while now. Us swap to that Soldier, and this is a triple fight of note coming out from the side of iVe. They have managed to get enough people out though, and now they're starting to really compete. Just that Zenyatta ult coming out though, and there's still so many people alive. Everyone from the side of DDC is still alive, and no matter how many times you trickle, no matter for how long, it never happens when you're going into 6 people one at a time.
Actually, I actually did see it happen once. If people go 1-on-1, you eventually do get those picks that you want, and then the other team has to run far. Fizz, trying to get an ultimate, taking Dutch Courage down, but sadly gets taken at the end. But just like I said, in situations like that, I actually experienced where I was in a team, I was in that 6th team, and they kept sending people out 1 by 1, and it was on Hollywood, and eventually the team kept getting the picks they wanted. They focused on our supports first, and then eventually we lost our supports and our heals, and then eventually they took us down, and then they just built the defense up again. So it is possible for that kind of situation, but it takes a lot of luck, in my opinion, and coordination.
Certainly, no, it's something you got to try. You can't just lay down and down that last point, and just, it seemed to me that Ice Torbjorn just didn't work out. Really nice to try, but they are a game down, and at this stage, they've given a 3-minute 42 left on the clock for the side of DDC. So DDC has a lot of time to work with, and they managed to get the entire way through. iVe has a huge amount of work to do.
Yeah, iVe was not... They actually didn't manage to stop the DDC push once. So that was actually a clean slate from their side, leaving them with 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Yeah, like you said, that is a lot of time. So iVe is going to have to pull even a better attack force here if they're going to want to stop DDC at this moment. Because it looks like that it's going in the favor of DDC. And that's not good for the sides of iVe, but it's not over yet. They still have a lot of time to prove themselves, and I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty confident iVe will come up with something to show their force.
Certainly, iVe is going to have to do something. We see Fizz coming out. Fizz has been playing incredibly well on that Pharah at this stage. Sterry's gone off the tank role at this stage, going more for the Soldier 76. They're going with instead Voxtron on the Zarya, .Ninja on that Diva. Maybe just looking to get into the face, and knowing how important this high ground is here in the front, they needed someone to just be able to jump up and really put a huge amount of defense matrix in their face and just shut it down. Now we see it's going to be a Pharah battle though between Red Queen, and it seems like Red Queen has actually just had the upper hand on the Pharah battle today. Not necessarily by pure picks 1v1, but certainly on great positioning and good use of ultage.
I'm actually wondering at the moment, it seems like every time Red Queen's boosts herself up, it's like iVe team doesn't notice or hear it, because they just completely ignore Red Queen at the moment every time she's up. So I'm wondering if the iVe team, doesn't see it, doesn't hear it, or they just, on purposely ignore it to focus on other players.
I'm not sure at this stage, and they've got the players, they've got the heroes to counter that. Stereo on the Soldier, that's pretty much his entire job, is to try and shut down Red Queen. They've got Steel Cashew, who can put in a bullet or two just to try and get there. Ice has got the Zenyatta, who can put that Discord orb on and just make life a lot easier. Voxtron's coming very far out now and has a shield up, but is actually in a very, very dangerous position. There he goes down, unfortunately for him, but Ninja is now trying to push forward and is again very, very alone, and we just see this iVe side splitting up a little bit too much at this stage. Ninja gets knocked out of her mech at this stage, and Fizz is going around the outside, but a very nice hold from DDC, just Red Queen going down at this stage, but they've got Mace Windu with that res if needed, but it doesn't look like they do at this stage.
Yeah, it seems like you are correct. IVE, they have the the composition to start. They move together as a team, but one wrong move and then they just decide to split up, which is something I've noticed from at the moment, and that's something they're gonna have to work on. They have to stick together. They have the 6-man team there, well, except for the Fizz who sadly died now, but they have to, in my opinion, focus on the Pharah, get Pharah down, and then focus on Mace Windu. Once they're down, then they move in and take down the rest. They need to prioritize targets at the moment, because at the moment Mace Windu and Red Queen is just causing so much damage and healing for DDC, but iVe not able to do anything at this moment.
Interesting. Transcendence came out very nicely there to counter, but a very interesting Graviton Surge coming out there. No one else from DDC was really in position to follow up on that, but we do see Red Queen just there on the Pharah, does a lot of work after that Transcendence went down, got into such a beautiful position, and while being damage boosted, if I'm not mistaken, by Mace Windu, just got such a good barrage in their face and just did a huge amount of work. .Ninja pushing forward a little bit now on their own. Not really sure what she's trying to achieve at that stage, but with just a minute left, I think this iVe side is getting a little bit frantic.
Yeah, you see, Fizz is trying to target so hard to get that Mace Windu down, so he is actually now prioritizing Mace Windu, which is very good from his side. Sterry is flanking for the left side. It seems like he is going to see if he can get the targets in a high ground down. Getting a little nano booster, and Transcendence going down by Dutch Courage there, protecting his team. Red Queen yet again from behind, taking down the iVe team, and nobody is calling it. It's took down at least 2 players, nobody's calling it. I think the iVe team has kind of lost hope at the moment for the looks of it, because they're not working as a team at this moment. But only 18 seconds left. I fear that it is the end of iVe for this side, which means DDC will actually take this.
Certainly, with 9 seconds left, this could be the end of the game. If not, it's going to be an incredibly hard push for the side of iVe at this stage. There goes the Diva Bomb onto point, but is there anyone? Oh, manages to drop out of the mech at the last second, gets on the point, and now you see the Graviton coming out, and there's actually a lot of the DDC players falling at this stage. We see that. Oh, what a res coming out from DDC, just making sure, and there goes everyone. Pretty much .Ninja, the last one alive with Voxtron. Voxtron on low health, and .Ninja now sure to follow very, very quickly. And now we see the side of DDC gets the full hold against after pushing the entire map. iVe just fell apart.
I was actually hoping, because usually when I call teams doing something, they tend to hear me and prove something wrong, and iVe almost had it there with that push. Sadly, that a Diva Bomb from .Ninja landed just in front of Mutant Gun's shield, which protected the whole team. That actually would have gotten a triple kill. And yep, Red Queen getting player of the game. Well deserved there. This was it. See, nobody notices Stereo getting shot. He didn't notice him from it, and then deployed the rocket barrage, taking down 3 of them and following up with a few kills there.
It's amazing how much that Graviton Surge can just distract you at that stage, but Mace Windu, 53% defensive assist. I know I'm a Mercy main and that I get a little bit of bias towards them, but what good play from both supports from the side of DDC. Really just staying alive constantly, being there to top everyone up, and that's so important, taking those sort of capture points. It becomes a battle of attrition. You just need to be able to stay alive as the defending team, and that's what DDC did. Fantastic bit of play from them. Both well played to both teams, but DDC does come out as your victors tonight.
I have to agree, they supported amazingly well, and as you said at the end, DDC did take the win. But I hope both these teams will actually rewatch the stream and see what they did wrong and what they did right, and then where they can improve on themselves. Because that is one of the main things I would say as a perk when it comes to your games getting streamed. It's getting that opportunity to see how you played and how you can always improve yourself. But yes, that is the end of the game, guys. Thank you almost so much for joining us. I've been SabreFox, and this is Altruism.
Thanks for joining, guys. All the details for all our channels are in the description below. If you want to keep up to date on any more of the VS Gaming tournaments and pretty much just Overwatch in general, make sure you get that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, follow us on Facebook and Twitter and all the good things. And we will see you guys next time for the next round. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Yeah.